Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I just want to quickly say, all work in this video contains 100% original content of and by myself James Smith, otherwise known as Bgood 4000, and was uniquely created with NAWMAL software, by myself James Smith. As I purchased commercial rights from NAWMAL to produce my unique and original video with this software. Commentary is uniquely my own thoughts, feelings, and expressions. Now that I have that out of the way, I do hope everyone out there is doing fantastic and your journeys to self-betterment are going better than fantastic as well. Today I want to talk about something very important. And it's what we touched on very briefly. And that's the narcissist will slowly dismantle your life. And before you know it, it's almost too late. Now first off we have to go back to why. Why does the narcissist work in many? Not all. But in a great many cases they work in this slow and almost in a vague manner. The reason why is they don't want to alert you or others as to what is going on. You see, a very good con person won't let you know that you are being conned. Especially in the beginning. And actually this is how con people, let's say posing as a telemarketer or whatever, is able to con people out of their bank account information. And it's because they take the time to gain trust. They talk with this person on the phone or wherever as long as is needed to convince this person they are scamming, that they are friendly, harmless, kind and looking out for their best interest. Go to a car lot so you can car shop. And it's not to say all salespeople use this tactic. But a great many might. And it's trying to find anything they can connect with you on. So you might drop your guard and see them as a friend and go forth with a sale without carefully doing an inspection of the vehicle and without reading the paperwork carefully. But when you take the car home and you find out the terms that you actually signed up for are different than what was discussed with your new so-called buddy at the car dealership, well, you find out real quick the person that sold you the bad deal of a car is really not your friend. And you start to understand that them connecting to the fact that you both might share the same hobby or personal interests was used as a way to get you to drop your guard. See them as a friend. And to not have boundaries and in the end let something really bad happen to you. Narcissists are expert hunters, metaphorically speaking. Just like in the jungle. Even the top of the food chain animal uses stealth and their ability to spring up on their prey. Because catching a prey unaware will likely produce better results. Instead of this apex animal just casually walking up to its prey, almost announcing their presence every single time, the prey would likely figure out what is going on and they would quickly run away. Even the fearsome great white shark attacks by the way of surprise and stealth. Its prey rarely sees it coming until it's too late. Well, the narcissist know that if they on day one. And this is very important. Because there's going to be a but to what I'm going to say here. But they realize that on day one if they show themselves to just wanting to use and mistreat you, you will, and most people, even codependents, will likely walk away from such a person. But if they hide this fact from you and others, they can brainwash you so good that when they do show who they are, you will more than likely stick around for more mistreatment. And thus they will see you as a good source of narcissistic supply. This is why a great many that know about narcissists and narcissism, they say to slow things down. Because if we don't do this and we aren't willing to examine our friendships, romantic relationships, and our other interactions, we are increasing our chances of being caught unaware by someone that sees us as narcissistic supply and as someone they can use and discard once they are done with us. You see, the narcissist knows it's not a straightforward thing to get what they want. This is why we have the narcissist do test, the sweet mean cycles, the love bombing stage, and the list goes on and on. These are tactics that work, by the way, to convince you that the person that you are dealing with is in no way a bad person or someone that wants bad for your life. These tactics are designed to get you to see this person as a good person, and someone that is your friend or someone that loves you. And And these things are designed to get you to second guess yourself and possibly see yourself as the bad person, or that you should give this person a chance. Because hey, they bonded with you on a particular area of life. And you can find this happening in nearly all areas of life from top to bottom. You can see it clearly when you really take the time to slow things down. You see this person pretending to be against those things or people that you see as bad. And they act like they can connect with you on possibly how you feel about a certain thing. And that they are on your side with in regards to helping you achieve these so-called common goals and dreams that you shared with this person that pretends that they care. When in reality it's one big manipulation. But they do it step by step and in pieces. Because if they rush too quickly, you or someone else will get alerted to what is going on and the narcissist's plan will fall apart. I think about my narcissist mother as an example. My mother, though she had no real school education, she was brilliant at manipulating people over a great period of time. And to set things up so she would get what she wanted even decades later from the seeds she planted years and years ago. You see, narcissists are always looking for a scapegoat. When you meet someone new, if they are a narcissist, as they are shaking your hand or whatever, they are likely scanning you and talking to you, while thinking to themselves how you will fit into their manipulations they have going on. Will you be a scapegoat today or a golden child tomorrow type of thing? You see, though my mother put me in the scapegoat role, and my brother in the golden child role, she purposely stoked his anger towards me and others, to where he literally has no filter. And he will yell and holler no matter who is around. Well, my mother, I believe, was seeing the long game of things, so to speak. She knew I wasn't going to be around in the home forever. And she knew my brother having no filter and a temper problem that she encouraged would lead him into becoming the scapegoat by default, and thus she would remain as the victim and have another scapegoat. And my mother did all of this slowly over a long period of time. This is why it's okay to look at your relationships frequently and slow things down. And while doing so, understand this. The narcissist is an expert at getting you to the point where you've had enough. And then they reel you back in with fake friendship, with fake love, and fake understanding. And when you are able to understand that and you can slow things down, you can start to see the patterns. Not just in your one-on-one relationships but in other parts of life and in society, where there's a great many people that can't see these patterns, because they've been love-bombed so much and so good. Once the narcissist shows themselves, some can't bring themselves to believe it, or they can't admit to themselves and to others they've been manipulated and had. You see, narcissists, no matter if we are talking about your one-on-one relationships, they tend to show the same patterns. They love bomb you like no other. They pretend to understand your life problems and struggles. And they pretend to want to help. And they will demonize and scapegoat anyone that is actually trying to fix such problems. So you will be isolated away from such people that can actually help you and your life. And mind you, all of this is done over a period of time so it doesn't alert your senses that something is really wrong. They plant the seeds and plant the seeds. They might even show up with little forms of help here and there. And you really start to feel like they have your back. And now, because you feel like they have your back, they can now start to demonize anyone they see as a threat to their complete control. And you will believe it because they have already got you to believe they are helpful, kind, and on the same page as you are in life. So when they demonize this person or they demonize that person, you will be on autopilot, metaphorically speaking. You will side with them without knowing all of the facts. Because they have over a good period of time gained your trust and shown themselves to be in your corner. Folks, this is the playbook of a high-level manipulator, no matter if we are talking about your one-on-one relationships, or if we are talking about the highest areas of life. They get you to buy off on a lie. They demonize anyone that may want to help you for real. And then they start to get you to second-guess you and your life. And then they start to get you into a cycle where they mistreat you and reel you back in. And mistreat you and reel you back in. And before you know it, you have started a cycle of narcissism and mistreatment that sadly gets passed down from one generation to the next. Because there is no critical thinking. There is no slowing things down. It's just accepting the love bombing as real love when it's not. And allowing others to not act in your best interests simply because of this love bombing taking place. Slow things down. Look around yourself. Ask yourself some questions. What's going on here? Take a step back. Narcissists don't want you to do that. They don't want you to critically think and assess what is going on. The narcissists love the world like how it's set up and they don't want it to change for anything. If you are able to see these patterns and someone else can and someone else can, eventually they will lose their supply. That is why they spend so much time demonizing those that might be of help in your life. Think about when you hear about when someone wakes up. What are they talking about and what is really happening? Those that have woken up, they can look back and think to themselves, oh no. That person 10 years ago that I believed was against me, was in all likelihood on my side. They just believed a narcissist that pumped them up full of metaphoric hot air. And because they came on so strong as my friend and gained my trust, I was willing to believe anything they said in regards to this person being bad or that person being bad. Waking up is just being able to slow things down and see the lies around you. Think about how Neo in the Matrix was able to dodge all of the things he was able to dodge in the many fight scenes. Think of all of the things he was dodging as lies and manipulation instead of feet, hands, swords, sticks, so forth and so on. Narcissists want to keep you asleep, so they can keep the hustle and scam going. And how they are able to achieve that is they love bomb you. They gain your trust through phony and manipulative means. They demonize those that want good for you and they get you to buy into it. And then they keep you in a cycle of self-doubt and doubting of others that want good for you. Meanwhile, the narcissist can gain from you the narcissistic supply and money and other things from you that they want. The minute they notice others are questioning them, and you can see this in many areas of life, they quickly pivot and start to project and make you think others are doing all of the bad things they are saying others are doing. When in reality it's them. And they are doing this to keep you believing they are good and still have your best interests at heart. You see, we get fed a steady diet showing us that the narcissist is typically a certain way of behaving and acting. And what this does is allow us to point our fingers at those that may be the loud narcissist like my brother. But remember, my mother created my brother to be that way for a reason. And it was for my mother to be able to use my brother as a form of narcissistic supply when I was out of the family home. And so she could remain blameless and in the role of the victim or savior. Narcissists love to get us to point fingers at these people because it keeps our eyes off of what the covert narcissists is really doing. They also like us to point our fingers at those that are true empaths that are now the scapegoats. But people treat them as the narcissist. Look. When we talk about the world is full of narcissists, very few want to break it down and talk about what that means. It means you have a lot of people that are highly skilled at getting you to believe they are on your side. So the people that are around you that act like they are on your side might very well be on your side. They truly might be. But there are a great many that might not be as well. And they only entered your life to manipulate you. And the same can be true for high-level public life. There might be people out there that you've seen as to being on your side. But in reality the only side they are on is theirs. And if more people could slow things down, pick things apart and see them for what they were and are, they might be able to free themselves from narcissistic mistreatment. But when you hear some people in public talk, it can be sad. You can see and hear a great many people have left critical thinking at the door and live by knee-jerk reactions and fast temper emotions. Because to them, it feels better. And even if they aren't a narcissist in the sense of what a narcissist is, These behaviors feeds their own narcissism. This is why starting with understanding one-on-one relationships is key and important. Because if you can slow things down and see the time and effort this person put into scamming you, you can use this same type of slowing things down when you go shop for a car, or a house, or whatever it is you are doing in your daily life, and in how you see high levels of our life and how you interact with that life. You can step back, slow things down, and not react, but sidestep, duck, or move out of the way, and do something else that is positive. I keep saying this. If the family was helped by way of fixing the family court and divorce court laws, and people are able to truly understand narcissism, it will be a lot harder for narcissists in the higher levels of life to pull a fast one on anyone. Because you will have more critical thinkers. Then you have emotional thinkers. Right now. Yes. Critical thinking is on the rise. But sadly emotional thinking is still the norm. Because the narcissists out there have gotten people to fall in love with emotional thinking. Because it feels good as the narcissists has attached this type of emotional thinking to love bombing. Because it seems the more emotional thinkers react in this way, the more the narcissists reward them with love bombing. And as we know, the love bombing from a narcissist feels so good. But it's all a lie. People. Satan can come into your life like an angel of light, with gifts and all kinds of promises. Like he's on your side, so forth and so on. So much so you don't even recognize it's Satan right in front of you. He takes you along this long road of lies and manipulation. He gets you to turn on those that love you. And when it's all over, he dumps you to the side of the road once you've been all used up. He didn't show up and say who he was and what evil he was planning for your life. But instead he showed up and got you to throw your own life away because his lie was as sweet as honey. And you wanted to believe so badly that all the things said and done during this love bombing stage was and is true. It's all a lie. All of it. There is no help that they promised. There is no special thing you were promised at the end of all of that. Here's something you might be able to relate to. I remember my ex Susie telling me she would stop treating me badly if we just got married. And that's a lie that many of us bought. And many are still buying. But I look back at how Susie brought me through a long list of steps over a long period of time. Yes. She was fast moving and love bombed me better than most narcissists can love bomb. I mean, she was up there with her love bombing. But though she was a fast mover, she made sure she didn't show her entire hand right away because she knew, I believe, that had I seen her hand, and what was in this hand from day one, I, though being codependent, would have likely walked the other way. That brings me to another topic I want to talk about. What does it mean when the narcissist lets their mask slip or part? Not all, but part of their hand show. I think that's a good thing to talk about in the next video. And I think this is a great place for us to stop. With that said, I thank you all for your support. It means so much to me. It really does. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.